high city and SMC strategy is just everywhere. There's a lot of noise around the media that SMC strategy does not work, ICT does not work, and sort of a lot of things. And it's not really truth. But I'm not in position to judge that. So we're going to go straight to the chat and we're going to implement this strategy, the ICT strategy, the SMC, and we really check, does this strategy really work, or they are just what they are called. All right. So now I'm going to be showing couples of trade which I've tried to test this strategy. I did some research and I also backtested, and I see that this strategy are not bad the way you call them. This strategy are really good. So I'm going to show you a couple of trade I've taken with. We're going to see, was it really strategy really good the way they are being hype around the media, or it's just a noise. I don't want to talk too much, so let's go straight into the chat. All right. So the first pair, so this is the first pair I'm going to be using to check it. This was GBP JPY. So if you see, this is the 1st of December 2025. So I was trading this particular setup GBP JPY. I'm going to be breaking down in this video the reason why I took the trade, and what exactly what I seen before taking the trade. All right, so let's get into it. So this is GBP JPY in front of me. So you can see this is 1 hour. The reason why I took the trade was, first, once I want to trade any setup, first thing I did is I tried to identify the direction of the market first, and try to identify the situation in which the market is at, in which the market is in at that particular time. Maybe the market is in the retracement phase. Try to understand that. So at that particular time, this pair was this bullish engulfing green candle that I see here on a daily time frame. So the moment I saw this, I said, okay, since we have this engulfing, and this is my normal strategy, I do trade the trend line, support and resistance. You can see they are still there. So this was a nice bounce off, and this was third bounce of the trend. And I talk about third bounce of the trend only during the trade. And at that time, this engulfing was here. Seeing this engulfing, I know price was not done yet with the bullish move. So then I went straight the forward time frame that, okay, I cannot get in this particular trade. That engulfing 4 hour candle you saw on the daily time frame was this same candle here, this same series of candles here. Let me just zoom out. All right, so this series of candles here, and using the SM strategy, what I did was price was here at that particular time. So, and I just take from this back, I just what I dragged out this guy that, okay, fine, price has got break structured in this area here. We have a break of structure to this upside. And once we have a break of structure, you want to wait for pullback before you get in the trade. All right, you want to wait for that pullback before you actually get in the trade. And I just checked around this area. Okay, where is likely price likely to push back to? So first, I got this zone here, which is this other block that is here. I draw it out like this. The moment I draw it out, I saw that when price was going, it came back and it tapped into it, which means what this that particular order block is intimidated. So it means fulfilled. So I know that, okay, price might not come back into this one. I deleted it, and the next one I saw, which was this indecision candle that was there, this other block, this red candle here. So I mapped out the whole of the candle like this. So when I mark out the whole of candle like that, then I checked, was this order fulfilled after when price went. Then I saw at this area here, price came into it and tapped into it, and I know that, how this is really not going to favor me. No, price has stopped into it. So what particular one can I associate as well? Then I also deleted that one. Then I went straight to the 1 hour time frame, going lower in time frame. Like, okay, let me try to see what is really happening with this particular setup. Then I saw this particular last bullish candle price left, last bearish candle price left before it take the rapid move. And when this price shoot back here, it's never tapped into it. You see, so it never tapped into it. It was very close. Let me zoom out and show you guys. So you can see it was very close, but it didn't tap into it. Then I knew that, okay, now price might likely what needs to come back and tap into this guy. Even despite all this week, price never tapped into it. Then at this area also, I can see there's an inducement. Any zone that you want to take a trade that you see that there's an inducement, those zones is likely going to stand. So I knew that, okay, I'm going to be taking a buy from this point. But at that time, price was at this high. I was like, am I going to leave this price to continue coming down like this? Then I'll wait till it gets to this place. Actually, that's the way SMC is being traded. But like, no, let me do the trick here. So checking this price here, at that time price was consolidating. I was just watching it. Then first I saw this triple top. I was like, okay, this the normal pattern I used to trade on my chart. If seeing this triple top trading the price action, this is referring to me that it's so. But now I'm going to be bringing the SMC strategy to trade this particular triple top. And what did I do there was I just mapped out this last green candle I saw here after this triple top. Then I extended it to the front. When price shoot out of it, I waited for it to pull back into it. Immediately tap into it. Then I took a sell from this particular area here. It's just that I've deleted most of these setups. So I took this off from this particular area here, then put my stop loss above there, then I targeted straight to this zone here. And that was a risk reward of 1 to 3. And I hit full TP. And immediately price came here, which I was actually waiting for it to get it before I take the next buy. Because I have what the break of structure here, which so now we had a very nice pullback. And this was the last low that would break the structure. And if you've been on my channel, you notice I trace Fibonacci a lot. So what I did was I just take my Fibonacci from this low all the way to this high. And I can see it's even lining perfectly with my Fibonacci golden zone. I talk about Fibonacci golden zone. It's one of the best zone you want to trade if you just come into the first market. If you actually learn to trade this Fibonacci golden zone, I can guarantee you success is all the way. So I know that okay, it's also in line with this Fibonacci zone, just a little bit below it, but it's still perfect. Then what? And this same Fibonacci zone at this area is called the discount area. Like okay, fine with the SMC strategy is still going in line. Then I deleted Fibonacci because it has done what it needs to do for me. Then I mark out this area, mark it all the way to this place. So price was here at the time. Then I took this buy. Before I took the buy, I went to one time frame, wait for a change in trend, like a change of character from the lower time frame. Because to get a change in character from this higher time frame here, it means price needs to what? It means price needs to what? Take out the last low, and the last low was around this point. The last low was this particular one here. So this is the last low because it was this low that changed this one here. So this last and like so we're not going to be waiting all the way if I take it by. I know that that's not the valid one. So I just went straight to the 15 minute time frame. I think so. It was on 15 minutes time frame. I got the entry. So you can see so now we had this drop here, pullback. So this is a structure here. Then price was break the structure. Then what? It came back again. This was another high. Expecting market to break it here, but that didn't happen. But instead, what will happen? What we push above, which is here the change of character. So this is exactly what I'm saying. On the lower time frame, I got a change of character there. Yeah, so I got that change of character. And after that change of character there, I just mark out, this zone is actually there on the higher time frame. I have the zone there. And what I did was next was what on this lower time frame, I also try to check all these weeks. Like you will see that this week, this particular one as well has cleared all the liquidity here, which means this weeks is very valid. So I just mark the bottom of this week. I'll apply it out like this. And immediately price tapped into it. That was my entry. And just put my stop loss above that zone, which my stop loss was just ideally around 21 pips, and price shoots all the way to this high. Let me just take it back to the high time frame, and what price shoots all the way back to this high. Just watching this level, and what I use this level for was once price gets to this level, start reversing. I want to wait for where it's created a new low, and I'm going to be using that to what trade up my stop, which I move my stop all the way from this bottom up to this bottom, then wait for it to get to my full TP here. Now, how did I get this full TP? That was just Fibonacci extension when I used the Fibonacci, and that was exactly when I marked from this low all the way to this high, and price pick check where price is next to get to. You can see this is the zone. So that was that I got my targets just using the Fibonacci extension, and boom, price tap into it. Now I'm out of the trade, just watching what's going to happen here. If it have a nice pullback, because I can see a very nice, let me do this Fibonacci here. So just telling you how this SMC strategy really works. Yes, it works. So just looking from this point here, the next area where likely price is going to push back to if it really wants to come down is this guy here, which I'll be considering to take a next buy right from this zone. Yeah. So that's just the SMC strategy. So I took two trades on GPJPY and two of them ETP. The other pair I took the trade GBP AUD. So let's go to GBP AUD. Where is he? Okay, so good. You can see this GBP AUD here. Very perfect, very nice. Now, how did I take this trade? At the time, the price was around this area, all this nice push down here. So at the time I came to this area, price was around this area, all this down push nice here. So what I waited for, I just checked in between here. This was the last time I could see. Then I map it out by this. That was the last time I could see all the way down here, and this was the last low, this particular low at the time. So all I want to be what is looking for a setup in between this space here. And looking at this price here, I also try to identify the direction of the market from the 4 hours time frame. So let me just go to 10 time frame and show you. So I could see that from daily time frame we are what bullish, creating series of higher highs, higher lows, higher high here, then higher low. I'm like, okay, since you have a higher low around this point, it means we might need to go for a new higher high. But at the same time, I try to understand what exactly is happening at this present situation here, and then I noticed that price was in a clear downtrend from this region. Then I checked, okay, where was the last low from the higher time frame that actually broke structure? Because trading with structure, you have to understand the direction of the market very well. Just the way I also analyze using my price action strategy. I noticed that this was the last high we could see here. Then this low pushed down. Then what? Price went all the way here. But if you look at this guy, does this guy really break the structure? No, this was just a week. It means structure was not taken out here. Then I okay, so this still stand as my last low. This still stand as my what last low. Then price pushed again, then came to this point. Then we have a clear break of structure from this area. So that was what a nice break of structure there. Then I like okay, fine. We now have a clear break of structure here. So it was this low that broke this structure. Then what price pulled back again. Then after this pullback, this become my new low. I also check out this area. This become my new low. Yeah. Then price was pushed all the way from this low. Makes we have this low. And if you try to check something, when price pushed into this low, you see that it came into this other block area. You can see it came into it, tapped into it, then went. So when it break this structure, this was the new high we have here. Then price was came again, broke the structure again. We had our break of structure there again, then shoot higher. And ever since price shoot higher, so this become the last low, and this become what the last high. So now where I want to be trading from this higher time frame, trying to analyze this pair is from this low all the way to this high. I'm looking from this low all the way to this high. Price actually left a zone where if it's really coming back to continue its uptrend, it left a demand zone is going to come and tap in, which I caught here on the daily time frame. So you get that. So this is exactly the setup I got here on the daily time frame. That okay, this is a nice zone. If price wants to continue with this bullish move, it needs to come back to this demand zone, all right? Because we can see we have some fair value gap area here, inefficiency. So price needs to fill all these things, then come back here. Then have to understand this present market situation, which is exactly what I talked about earlier. So checking from the present market situation, I like okay, I already know what I'm looking for. So I'm going to be looking for more short. Like I told you earlier, price was around this area at a particular time. So I was like, okay, since price is around this area, but judging from all this high we have here, this is the high, this is the low. We have a high here, we have a low. And check this low to this one. You see that structure was broken to the downside. Then it went again. If you check this high, it never take out this low, which means that the downtrend is devalued. Then it came again, broke the structure to the downside. So let me just explain what I'm trying to say here. You see that structure was what broken to the downside here. And after the structure was broken, it came down a little bit, then went up again. Did it get to this high? No. What did it do? It only tap into this. You only tap that zone, then we sell off again. So at the time I was going to put price was there, I was like, okay, where is it likely for this price to push back into? All right, where is it likely for this price? We have a nice break of structure here. This was the break of structure. So now price tap into here. Now come again, break another structure. So I'm just going to clone this guy here. Here we have another break of structure to the downside. Now we need to what? See a pullback. Even if I want to sell, I need to see a pullback to a particular zone. But this time around, looking at this from the daily time frame, I first zoom out this area. Then I notice what here, this place here, there's what? There's gap. There's gap in the market. So after market close on Friday, opening on Monday, it gapped to downside. It straight came back and filled it, but it that wasn't filled. That gap was not filled. So it means which this tells me that price needs to come back into that gap and fill that gap. And also watching from this, I also judge from this area that okay, is there any valid candle I can use as any valid maybe demand level or anything I can use to trade this particular setup? Then I checked from this back, I saw this particular demand candle that was here. I was like, okay, fine. So if market fill this gap, it's going to come to use this guy. This place point here was market was supposed to come like this, tested it here, then went back up, right? So and you can see that happened. It tested it and went back up. So I still see it as a very valid area. So I just would throw it to the front side. Then I moved away from the daily time frame, went to the 4 hours time frame, and from the 4 hours time frame, I also saw this demand area. So you can see it. Then I can say, okay, very fine. Now I have what I need. So I just what mark out the last green candle that printed there because I see this is a demand. All this is demand area. So this why I mark out this area here. It was in line with that zone I show you on the daily time frame. So with this low, they were in line. So that one was just around this point. I like its the price is likely to come back into this place. And you can see what price came there and tapped into it. And immediately tapped into it, it went down. But here I wasn't trading yet. I was just still observing how this strategy really worked because at the time I was just very new to the strategy. So I like, okay, fine, it's worked here. That's the perfect one. Where will have been my target? This same area. From this point, I'm going to sell from this point, and this will blend my target because I'm heading back out this zone here. And also see have this zone at this bottom here that I show you on the daily time frame. If you remember, I have this zone at this bottom here. Now, like, okay, now we need to sell again. Where exactly am I going to be selling from? Then I saw this last green candle that price left here. Now, why am I not using this? If you see that this one, after when price left it here, came back, came into it, filled it. The order was filled, right? Went down again, left this green candle, then this green one came there again, filled it. But after this green candle was left, this green particular green candle was left. The other really fulfilled it. Yes, it was fulfilled. But when other fulfilled it, it's also left a demand. It's what it left a demand candle on. It left another block candle in there. You can see this is the other block. And like, okay, fine. Price might likely need to come back to this other block. So I saw that on the 4 hours time frame, which I map it out. And once I map out a level on a higher time frame, I keep going lower in time frame to what to reduce the strength of that zone so that I can have a smaller stop loss. And at the time, I came straight to 1 hour, and on the 1 hour time frame, I also saw that that same level I was eyeing on the 4 hours time frame, it was actually came into and fulfilled. All right, the price was came into it and fulfilled it, which means price might not likely wants to come here. But notwithstanding, I mark out that eye because I'll be very interested in that. I mark out the eye. Then look at this back here. We have this word other block here to price went and filled into it. Then we have all these weeks here. So now this weeks was it really fulfilled? The answer to me here was no. Now the reason why I said was not fulfilled is because yes, this one came into it and filled it right, then went again and what the structure break? No, it created a double low, double bottom here which become a what a liquidity area. Then price went into it. Now, when this become a liquidity, then push back. I was expecting this one to come into it, but that didn't happen. Then what price built all the way down. Then I know that yes, this valid. This area is a valid area. Price needs to come back into. Then I went straight to 30 minute time frame. So on the 30 minute time frame, you can see this is that same zone here. And we also have all this level here. Then I just like okay. At the time price was pushing back, I was just watching like okay, let me see exactly where price needs to be pushing back to if it's really going to come into this zone. And at the same time, I also use my Fibonacci to switch. I like to use Fibonacci a lot. Now, how I use Fibonacci is I'm just going to check out the last low that took out the break of structure, or yes, where we had that break of structure, a change of character. Then I'll use that particular low to map my Fibonacci. Now, in this case, here we have this here. This was the low here. We have a low here. After this low, price push back. So it was this pullback that what came and break this previous structure that was here. And after since when the structure was broken, price have never put back. Try to understand what I'm explaining here. See, price break structure here. So this was a low, then price shoot down, created a double bottom, didn't break the structure here, right? Then later it now came break the structure. So which means this become my valid low. This become what my valid pullback. This become my value pullback, and this become the extension. So what I did there was I just used the Fibonacci tools from this. So I used the Fibonacci from this high here because this was the last pullback I could see all the way to this one. All right. And using the smart money concept, you have to understand that the only place you want to be taking your entry or your position is what is your discount area, right? Yeah, discount area. I think it's called discount area. So it's your discount zone, right? And here, at this point here, price pullback, then this one came. Was this really a discount area? Actually, discount area is anything above 50% retracement instead of 50% retracement. So this 50% retracement, so actually this 50% retracement is equilibrium area, right? So this is not the discount area, this is equilibrium. Consider it solely spike, not close above it, then spike down. Then I know that this is not the entry I'm looking for. So here the entry I'm looking for is any of inside the zone. I see a very nice deep pullback consolidation. That's where I'm interested in. And the price started was coming back. Immediately it gets here, you see, when it gets here, it started was consolidating. And like I explained earlier, once I start seeing price approaching my POI, that's point of interest, I go lower in time frame to see change of character on the lower time frame. And that is what I'm going to be using as my entry. Here in this situation, I went straight to the 15 minutes time frame. So let me do this Fibonacci so we don't get more confused. All right. Here on this 15 minutes time frame. Now try to understand what I'm trying to explain here, right? Try to understand this. This is my area of interest, right? Which is being mapped out nicely. And price was creating higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then was putting in higher high here. This was the higher high, higher low. So this is higher low. All these candles here was what higher. This one was higher low. All this candle was higher low. All right. All this candle here, this particular one. So created it higher high. Then was higher low. Then what happened here? Get to this point, was not able to create that. I started gathering weeks. Consolidation is consolidated here for long, for almost a day. Consolidating. Then I knew that was there's a problem in this zone. So immediately I saw this consolidation, I was like, fine, good. This is what I'm looking for. Now, this was the last. After this higher high, we had this higher low, right? Then this was this same past high we had. Structure was not broken yet. So this still become was the last higher low, the last higher low we could see. All right. Then at this point here, you've tried to notice what happened at this consolidation point is all these points here was what was lows, was lows. Price was creating lows here. Then this guy cleared the low. Then this guy was cleared the low, break the downside. And like this is a very valid area. And what did I do in this situation? After I see price, after clearing all this, taking all this liquidity that was down here, it means liquidity at the bottom side is being cleared away. It means that what price we just retrace to tap into a point of interest and use that same particular zone to sell off. At this point on the 15-minute time frame, I just try to understand that okay, which candle can I even use as my entry candle in this place here? So that was a very confusing decision for me to make. Instead, I intentionally map out the whole zone. Then after mapping out the whole zone, then I used half of this zone, which is the equilibrium zone, marking it from this bottom to this high. So let me just mark it for you so you can see from this bottom to this high. This middle here is equilibrium, and that's where I want to use as my entry. But here, I'm supposed to put my stop loss above here, but to be on the safer side because, like I explained earlier, all this place is liquidity. Also, this high is also liquidity. Price might still be interested in taking out the liquidity coming to this point here before swiping down. So that was why I have to take my stop loss back to this major zone that's right from the 4 hours time frame. All right, so I just put my stop loss there, and so if I have to go back to the higher time frame and okay, I'll show you some of the 4 hours time frame. So let's just see what we had there. So you will see it was a nice tap in there. Then what price sold off right from there, and it went straight to TP. And this was a reach word of once 13 points. And this was actually a reach word of once 14, if you ask me. So that's 13.8. So and what I have a nice TP bit tapped here. Now this zone, ideally, if you're trading, you'll be considering taking a buy from this zone. But I'm not interested in taking five from this zone because I know I still have a zone here. So because I'm still kind of watching this zone, anything might wants to happen on this zone. So this is the main reason why I didn't take a buy right from this zone. Because if you ask me, this actually look like a reversal pattern. This look like a cosmos pattern. And what is the cosmos pattern? If you can go to my previous video and watch where I explained talked about this cosmos pattern. Cosmos pattern is where you see the last kind of price came here. This place was supposed to be a valid area for entry to buy, right? This area here, this other block that was in here, all right, here was a valid area to buy and was ideally price tapped into it. If you're in the buy, we were targeting this area, right? Then price came after getting to this point. Price bought from here after getting to this point. Your stop loss was here, so you already have a nice visual. But here is your about TP. Maybe at the time you already move your stop loss to somewhere around here or break even, depend on how you manage your trade. Then price came backwards, now tap take you out, then get to that TP, take you out, went straight below that zone, went was straight below that zone, even clear that area. You're like, oh, price have cleared this area. Now maybe I'll start looking for selling position, this, that. So you want to start selling, maybe you want to start selling, but immediately price cleared it. It came back into it with effect immediately. Like after clearing the low, it came back into it, then shoot up and went straight to that your TP area. And one thing you need to understand here is what look at this point here. This last low was taken out, which signified a change of character. So we had this double top here, one, two, pull back a little bit, then went up straight up into this place, even clearing this liquidity that is there, and this become what a change of character. At this point, you were confused like what exactly is happening? What exactly is happening? So this area was the valid area you were interested in taking the buy before you took the buy before, which you were in profit, you even close some trade in profit, and later price came in, didn't get your TP, then came back and what? So you mark that area straight out. You mark that area straightforward. Anytime price come back into that same area, it means what? Now what this is saying is price about come back to the claim this zone. It's actually a valid zone, but because it's manipulation, this was the manipulation. So after the manipulation, price now went high and came back to reclaim that area there. I can tell you for a fact that this is meant to be a buying area using the Cosmos pattern buying zone. My stop loss just below, excuse me, my stop loss just below this zone here, below that same zone. So if I have to delete this one for a moment, so if I do that, so you can see it, my stop loss take come here, and I will have my TP all the way back to this area. I will still target back to this zone. That will be my target. Yes, that will be my target. But using the SMC strategy, you might want to be very careful. You may just want to target this area here. And this is still giving a risk reward of 1 to 6.76. So this is a nice trade actually. And but I am not taking this trade, and which I already explained the reason why I'm not taking this trade. It's just all because of this zone that is down here. But which ideally this trade might really nicely play out. If you ask me, yes, this trade might really nicely play out because you can see that there's a lot of weeks on this place here. Price coming down, there's a lot of weeks. So this trade might what do something like this. Might just have something like this. Boom, tap into that zone and what now sell off back to this point. Yeah, that's my happen. That might really happen. So if I really want to take the trade, I might just take the trade and reduce my risk and say, okay, whatever happened on this zone, I'm fine with it. So just take that buy all the way back to this point. At first, I can put it on the risk reward of 1 to 6 because that's still a nice one. So I can just put it on the risk reward of 1 to 6, which is it there. So which is this week's here. So I'll just put it on the risk reward of 1 to 6. Price take me out of 1 to 6, then see what is exactly happening here. So if I ask that confirmation, because if you ask me, this is a very nice order block here because price might need want to come out tap into the zone to sell off back. So that's a very valid order block if you ask me. So which we might have had what that buy into this zone then before we sell off. So which that might happen. So this is just if if you are interested in taking this trade, you can actually take this trade, but know that it's a what high risk trade because price might just for once comes to this place before going up, and price might pull back first before coming going down. So it's of two ways. And if you check also check from this zone here, there's also something I'm spotting. We also notice that this place here was also a high here. This liquidity, after this liquidity was taken out, went high. So this area here, this liquidity is place of like inducement. So you can see price might needs to come back into this zone, clearing of this inducement out there. You can see it. This is an inducement candle. So you can see this double trigger top candle. So price my what need to clear it, tap into this zone before selling off again. So which I said is might be a very valid zone. Yes, this trade might be a very valid very valid trade. So if you're interested in trade, seeing this video on time, you can actually trade the trade because you can see just watching from the 4 hours time frame earlier that I show you, we are seeing series of lower lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower low. So this was a break of structure here. And this point was price breaking to the structure. Now, this is the reason why I said I might not really be interested in taking this trade, which I just want to explain now. If you look at this point, after we had this break of structure here, price pullback, right, came down. Did it break structure? No. And if I really want to anticipate for a buy, maybe a pullback, we need to see the last structure being taken out using the what? Using the smart money concept. Yes, the last structure needs to be taken out. But here we are just having series of low. If price are dropped all the way to this point here, I might be interested in taking the buy all the way back to this point, and that's going to make more sense to me. Yes, that's going to make more sense to me. But we didn't have a break of structure there. That's the reason I said I'm not comfortable taking that trade. All right. So even though I'm seeing the Cosmo pattern, but notwithstanding, I'm not interested in taking the trade. And I'll show you something, same thing I explained here. I'll show you something similar to this on GBP card, which I'm on the trade presently. So let's go straight to GBP card and see. So you can see this is exactly what I'm trying to explain here on the on the GBP card. So you can see it same thing as what you're seeing on GPAUD. So you can see this was the low, this was taken out of this low, this one night pullback, which becomes what we become the Cosmo trading pattern and price tap into it. But now the reason why I'm comfortable taking this trade, look at it. I actually took this so you can see it was still there. So let me just go to 1 hour and show you this. It's still there. So I took this sell right from this point all the way to this bottom. So here, the reason why I targeted this area is we have what? A low here, liquidity area, right? And price was tapped into in, then went down, tapped into this zone, took out this liquidity. So you see, this is why I'm more interested in taking this one. And what we already have what a valid confirmation that this lows that is here has been taken out. Tap into this area here, this demand area, and wait for change of character. So price pull back a little bit here. So if I have to show you this guy, this little pullback here become a change of character. If I have to show you with this indicator to confirm to you that it will change of character, so you can see it. Let me just show you very well. So you can see that that was a clear change of character. And afterwards, price went to a pullback, then was break structure. After break of structure, what do you want? A pullback before you take your buy trade. And you can see we have that pullback into the demand area. So now I'm going to hide the indicator. I've explained what I need to explain there. So you can see tapped into this as my area. That's why I'm taking this buy. I'm more comfortable taking this buy than that taking of that one on GBP AUD. And you can see the buy is actually playing out. It's now creating higher high, higher low, higher high. This is a new higher low. So likely we'll have a new higher high, taking all the liquidity higher low again. Then price continue going like that. So that's why I'm more comfortable taking this one than taking that one on GBP AUD because we have a clear, I can see the cross mode pattern really cleared, really want to play out on this particular one here. And why I'm targeting this area here, this was the last high price get to when it was creating series of lower. This was the higher high. Like here we have a change of character, push to the downside. So now I'm trying to explain why I'm trying to take this trade. So you get it here. This was this series of higher highs we can see here. So price is clearly in an uptrend here in this zone. So you can see it from this point looking at it. So this is clear uptrend. So you can see our price is shooting up. So that was a clear uptrend. I can clearly identify that was a clear uptrend. So it's not like really confusing of that one of GPAUD, right? Now, during this uptrend, we have price, we have this particular all this demand area here. So let me mark it out. We have all the demand zone here. So that was a clear demand zone. And immediately price tapped into the demand zone. We started consolidating around in the push up, which take out this change. We have this change of character here because you can see from here to this point was a downtrend. You can see that here, this was a downtrend, taking off this character, taking off this this liquidity we have here, double bottom, taking it out. So which is telling you from this point here to this low is a downtrend. But from this point here to this place here is a uptrend. So which means we have at the opposite we have a minor trend playing inside a major trend. So the minor trend is the downtrend, then the major trend is the uptrend, right? Then price came at this point here. You see that it's consolidated for a while. At this point, it created a high here, which we could clearly see. This was a nice drop, a nice pullback. Then here it still gets to that bottom, couldn't take out this low, then went up again, clear this one, which become a break of structure. And once you have a break of structure, what you want to happen for is for a buy. So which what I just marked out the last candle I could see here on the 4 hour time frame, then I deleted this. So I deleted that one, then I marked out that one. So which I'm not using this one as my new stop loss. Now targeting back to that same area here. So this is just using the SM strategies, and we can see from the examples I've showed you and from the trade I've taken, you can clearly see that this strategy really works. So yes, the hype around the media was it's really work. But sometimes you may have some target price might not really come into those zones before continue the movement, which is all that happen in all strategy, no matter the strategy you use, that happens. So and here we come to the end of the video. If you find this video helpful, you want to smash the subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you don't stay audited when I drop also content like this. Then I catch you in my next video. Peace out.